Hello everybody, this is my statement on today's Supreme Court ruling. Today is one of the darkest days in the history of the women's rights movement. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States voted on Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Hospital Organization to hold up Mississippi's Gestational Age Act, overruling Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. In a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court ruled that a woman's liberty to get an abortion is not provided by the Constitution as part of a right to privacy. This decision is an absolute disgrace for the United States. It shows just how much human rights are depending on the political situation. Many red states like Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi have built on restricting or even banning access to safe abortion prepared or already passed. But the truth is that it's not about the unborn child to be born under any circumstances. It's about oppressing women and holding up patriarchy so that men can use women as sex objects as one thinks best. Judge Clarence Thomas, the most conservative and longest holding office of the 9 judges, has openly stated that he also wants to see Lawrence versus Texas and Obergefell versus Hodges overruled, making it possible to ban same-sex marriage and to criminalize same-sex intercourse again. And the laws against trans, inter and non-binary minors in many red states make life for queer people, especially women and POC, more and more unbearable. If there was such a party like the Republican Party here in Germany, it would have already been under supervision of the Federal Office of the Protection of the Constitution or even banned as extremist by the Federal Constitutional Court. Germany may not have been the most progressive democracy when it comes to women's and LGBTQ rights, but compared to the US, it's becoming a safe harbor. Today, the Federal Diet voted on an act to lift the ban of advertising abortion. Abortion is still unlawful in Germany, but not punishable under certain circumstances. And the calls to make abortion generally lawful are getting louder and louder. Germany could become a refuge for women who can't have a legal and safe abortion. And money shouldn't play a role. Every woman must have easy access to legal and safe abortion. Maybe we should start collecting money to make it possible for pregnant women to have a legal and safe abortion abroad if they can't afford it by themselves. The anti-abortion laws hit poor women worst. For wealthy women, it's no big deal to have a safe abortion in another state or even abroad. Therefore, anti-abortion laws are also oppressing the poor. Poor women are forced to have children even if they don't want any. They might even die from complications during pregnancy because they can't get a safe abortion. Banning abortion doesn't stop women from getting one, however. But those who can't afford to travel far away may seek abortions that are unsafe and pose a danger to the health and life of women as well. Men have no right to regulate women's bodies. But men still make up the majority of members of parliament in most countries. They don't have to care about the well-being of women, and they can always run away from women's problems. A man can impregnate as many women as he wants to, but the children are the women's problem. That's why there are far more single mothers than single fathers. But men have a responsibility. What if one day most MPs are female and they begin to regulate men's bodies? Some radical feminists might want to, but in fact, the vast majority of women doesn't want to regulate men's bodies because they know how much suffering comes with it. Women's rights are directly linked to LGBTQ rights, and Thomas made that clear once again. Unfortunately, there is no way out of this drama to be seen. With a conservative majority at the Supreme Court, the dismantlement of women's and LGBTQ rights will continue. The United States will become very ununited in that sort of way. They are already split into red, conservative, and reactionist-ish states like Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and blue progressive states like California, Oregon, and Washington. The governors of the latter have sent a powerful message to women and queer people today by announcing that they will work on better protecting these vulnerable groups and making Planned Parenthood easier, of which easy access to legal and safe abortion is a part of. And in red states, more and more women are protesting, and their protests are getting louder and louder. If the governments of these states don't want to risk these protests to become riots, like the Stonewall riot was, they should stop working on more and more misanthropic laws. The amount of human rights violations in the United States is staggering. So much that they can't credibly stand up for human rights abroad. The way that religion and state are intertwined in the US is to blame the most. State and church have to be strictly separated, and with judges like Amy Coney Barrett in office, this is not the case. The way the religious right uses the Bible to oppress vulnerable groups is not only contradictory, it's inhuman and disgusting. Therefore, it's no wonder that more and more LGBTQ people turn their back on religion. With their voting on Dobbs, judges like Thomas and Coney Barrett have forced their beliefs onto others, which is totally against religious liberty. And again, it's all about oppression and holding up patriarchy. Any kind of religious affiliation should make one ineligible for any kind of office. The more vulnerable groups are suppressed, the louder the protest must be, both in the US and abroad. Support Planned Parenthood and the United States of Women Reproductive Justice Hub for accessing care, volunteering, and donating to abortion funds. I'll leave links down in the description. Know your rights. The American Civil Liberties Union has information about what your rights are and what to do when they are violated. Stay safe. Thanks for watching.